So recently I did a video discussing the events of Dragon Ball Super Episode 72 and the new revelation of how Hit's time skip technique actually works. And the fact that Hit can actually transfer in between pocket universes to skip time and deliver swift and relentless punishment without breaking a sweat. But what I wanted to cover on this video is I wanted to talk about Hit's other incredible technique, and that is the ability to clone his energy. We've never seen anything like this before in Dragon Ball, and in fact, if you go throughout the history of the series, this actually changes the way that we perceive how energy works in Dragon Ball. And if you're wondering how, stay tuned.
This is Goku Black. You mortals had better push that subscribe button and follow Geekdom on social media. Do it, filthy mortals.
Hit's ability to time skip through parallel worlds is already ridiculously impressive as well as dangerous. But what other tools does this assassin have in his toolbox to make him even more of a badass motherfucker is that he can accomplish something we've never seen before in Dragon Ball. He can take the energy and actually manipulate the molecules and the atoms around him, and it doesn't even have to be touching him physically. It could just be in his general vicinity and trigger the atoms with energy, ignite them so that even the most skilled martial artist who has a complete grasp of how to manipulate ki around him will be fooled. Why is this a big deal? Well, because if you go all the way back to Dragon Ball's very humble roots, the constant theme of energy comes up over and over and over again. We always see this in Dragon Ball, from Goku's original appearance where he first does the Kamehameha after seeing it once, to his training with Roshi, to his training with Mr. Popo, and even his training recently with Whis when he had to learn how to manipulate God Ki. Goku is always being trained how to become a better martial artist, and it's all about energy. It's all about ki, because in Dragon Ball, to become a fully well-rounded martial artist, one must understand that it goes beyond your five senses. It's not just seeing your opponent or even hearing your opponent. If you can sense his energy, you have the ability to predict his movements. But Hit has a complete and utter nerfing of that with his ability to make even the most trained martial artist think twice by having multiple pieces of ki surrounding the fighter so that he doesn't even know what the hell's going on. Now, we've seen variations of this technique, or at least previous, I guess, more prehistoric versions in Dragon Ball with the after image technique. We've also seen Tenshin Han split himself into multiple clones and things like that, but those always had somewhat of a drawback. You know, a lot of times the technique would be an incredible strain on the user, or the stamina and energy would actually be divided up amongst the clones. But this technique that Hit is utilizing in Dragon Ball Super Episode 72 is completely different, because Hit is basically taking his energy and spreading it around without really even costing him any actual stamina. The guy's not even breaking a sweat, and he's doing it to confuse Goku. And to me, it's amazing, because so many times in Dragon Ball, during the fight with Goku and Frieza, for example, or the fight with Vegito and Majin Buu, there are times when we see constantly how Goku and the other characters talk about sensing energy. When they went to Planet Namek, Vegeta revealed that he learned how to do this from the Earthlings, how to raise and lower his ki. With this technique that Hit is using, it's totally different ball game here, because he can nullify all of that. Now, the other big revelation is there's a scene in episode 72 where Goku straight out says, "You're firing invisible energy blasts," right? Now, for many, many years, the way that it had been perceived is that whenever you see an energy blast in the series, whether it be a Kamehameha or any technique, that it's actually invisible, and that Toriyama is drawing the technique, like the energy, the plasma, whatever you want to call it, he's drawing this technique so that the reader, or in the anime, the viewer, can see the move firing. I've always been very skeptical of this theory, because you see characters reacting to the ki. Yes, they can sense it, but others can't. Case in point, when Krillin used the Kienzan / Destructo Disc, Nappa saw it coming. It was actually physically there. And he's never been known as one who can sense ki. Remember, he was dependent on scouters. So again, I've never bought into that theory, and this pretty much solidifies the fact that the energy in Dragon Ball is visible, but Hit has the ability to make it invisible, which again makes him that much more dangerous of an assassin. So when you combine this with the fact that he can use the time skip to manipulate parallel worlds, you're dealing with a character here who may be the toughest guy to legitimately beat outside of the gods. Goku was able to pull it off in episode 72, but Hit is also known to get stronger with every fight. He's known to adapt. So does Hit have limitless potential? The guy's 1,000 years old and he's still learning. Will Hit be the legitimate strongest non-god in Dragon Ball at one point? I'm very curious to find out, but right now, he certainly, with all these techniques, absolutely lives up to the name Legendary Assassin. Thanks for watching the video. Let me know your thoughts, and if you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe, join the Geek Army, and if you want more, here's more.